Good morning. Welcome back to GP Outdoors. Oh yeah, I see that look in your eyes. I know what a lot of you are thinking right now, especially if you live in Ontario. You're thinking, GP, don't do it. Winter's not over yet. And you're probably right. Usually around this time, there's one or two more small snowfalls, hopefully not a big one. But I gotta tell you, I love winter, but it's time for spring. Although we still got a lot of snow in the forest, the concession roads, they're pretty much all clear now, just dirty, flat, hard, no ice to speak of and no snow. Driveway is pretty much fully melted. There's a little bit of ice left in some spots, but it's kind of that porous ice, you know, it's not really slippery, so it's good for traction. I have to tell you, having the chains on this winter, absolutely outstanding. One of the best ideas I ever had, well, one of the best ideas you guys ever had was telling me to get these chains. I went for 2 winters without tire chains. And I can tell you, it's night and day difference having a set of chains in the middle of the winter. And don't get me wrong, this tractor has great traction throughout the whole year, but it's just the heart of the winter where I end up having troubles getting up those steep hills when they're icy and full of snow. But with these chains, not a problem the entire winter. Really happy I spent the money, worth every single dime. But as I mentioned before, these chains are really aggressive, and when you start to get into weather like this, where the ground or the surface is hard and flat, I tell you, my kidneys and my lower back can't take it much longer. So I'm going to take them off, and I'm going to take the risk. I should be fine. Not to mention, I think it's time we got the front end loader back on the tractor and got her spring and summer ready. Let's get her done today. Picked up these rafter hangers just at Princess Auto. You can get like an 8 or 10 pack of different types of hooks. They're really good. They hold a lot of weight, and they're going to need to, because those chains, if I remember, are about 66 pounds each. A few subscribers had suggested that I hang these up and I don't leave them in a pile or in a bucket, but hang them from a rafter for the summertime. And also to spray them with WD-40 after they dry out, and it'll hopefully stop it from rusting or minimize the amount of rust over the summer. Yep, they're heavy all right. You folks have one of these subframes, always a good idea to grab some strong wire and wrap it around this tightening bolt, because it tends to start to come loose over the winter time. A little trick I learned from a friend of mine, Dave. Dave's got his own channel. It's called RCAF Polar Express. This subframe bolt always needs a little bit of persuasion to get it off or to get it to start to spin after the winter. Not a lot, just a couple of nice easy taps with the hammer and she'll get going for you. All right, we're gonna leave this stuff on the skid. I'm gonna wait for a nice warm spring day and then we'll come back out, we'll clean her up, get her greased up, cleaned up and put away for the summer. No sense doing it on a day like today. Just gonna clean off these hydraulic couplers as well as the ends that come off the front end loader. Put a little grease in here as well as where the pivot pin is, and then we'll be ready to load her up and we'll be spring ready. Well, I had an interesting afternoon. Had to stop filming for a little while, a couple hours in fact. Got a call from neighbor Guy just as I was trying to get my loader arms back on the tractor. Turns out he and neighbor Bob were over in his garage trying to get the tracks off of Bobby's ATV to get his summer wheels back on it. And they needed an extra set of hands. So I took a break out, went over for a few hours, helped them out. And as is often the case up here, in kind, they both came back over here and helped me finish getting the loader arms onto the tractor. But I made a little bit of a mistake I wanted to share with you folks, especially if you're a new tractor owner. While I had pulled the tractor in between the loader arms and I was trying to line up the right-hand hinge, I kind of forgot to pay attention to the left side of the tractor. And I kept focusing on the right hand and I was maneuvering the tractor back and forth. The front guard ended up catching the side of my cylinder hydraulic hose and started scraping it down. I didn't actually break all the way through this hose. I've scraped down all of the rubber coating on one side, exposing the steel braiding. But I thought, just for safety's sake, I thought it was best spend the $15.49 and head off into town this morning and get a brand new replacement cable or hose. If you're a new tractor owner or even an experienced one and you don't have any knowledge about hydraulic fluid injection and your skin, I think it's really important that you read up on it. I did a video last summer when I found out about it, and I'll post the link to it here. Especially if you're a new tractor owner, please take the time, watch that video. It's a really important piece of information that you need to know about how your tractor works and how much pressure is sitting behind these lines. When I went to take this hose off, I was a little shocked to find out that both ends were so loose that I could undo them with my fingers and I didn't need a wrench, which is a little bit concerning considering there's up to 2100 PSI in these hoses. So I got her off and I thought it might be a good idea when I get it back on. And I've got my wrenches out just to go around and check all the rest of them on all these small different hoses that run between your curl and your lift cylinders, just to make sure that they're all tight and that I'm not in a position where I may have one blow out on me when I'm trying to lift 1,000 pounds off the ground. You want to put a rag or something over top of the opening to make sure you're not getting dirt or things like that into your lines unnecessarily. I'm going to connect my hydraulic couplers, start up the tractor, and then I'm going to start cycling my cylinders. These Kubotas have a way of purging the air out by themselves, and as I understand it, all you've got to do is start it up and keep cycling and using the cylinders for a few minutes, and the system itself will somehow get the air out for you. That's a wrap. I am spring ready. Chains are off the tires, the blower's put away, and the fell is rightfully back on the front of the tractor where it belongs. And the sun's shining. Hope you enjoyed the video today. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit that like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting more videos, just click that little bell. Have a wonderful week and a safe week with your families. And I'll see you again on the next one. Cheers.